everyone. In today's video, you're going to see me working on two twin paintings for my own living room. And I'm going to discuss a little bit about this project in this video, just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on with this and my idea behind it. So first, I want to talk about the fact that these are two separate paintings, but they are what I like to call twin paintings. I guess twin paintings probably aren't really the right word, more like sister paintings or brother paintings. But I want to talk about the history of these because there is a little bit of a backstory behind this. So these panels used to be just your standard panels you'd buy from a home goods store or some kind of home decor store of some kind with generic artwork printed on the canvas material already. In fact, this one had metallic-y, kind of shimmery texture to it. So it was very shiny and there was a lot going on, and it was themed around like big cities. Like I think one was Paris, France, and one was London, if I remember correctly. And so that's what I had. And over time, growing as an artist and realizing how it can be pretty toxic to buy that kind of art, not judging anybody who's buying that kind of art. I mean, we all start somewhere in buying our art, right? For our homes. But it can be negative for artists in the world because instead of buying straight from an artist, we're buying something that's licensed and mass-produced and just putting it in our home, and it just kind of becomes this almost like fast fashion for our walls in a way. But anyway, so I had these two twin paintings for quite some time, and I was just kind of not really jiving with the values of having those. And so I decided, why don't I just paint over them? If it's just for my own home, I don't have to worry about it going awry for a customer because it's for my own home. And when I say going awry, I just mean the fact that I had to paint over these slick, shiny, shimmery textured panels. And it was a material I wasn't quite sure if it was really canvas originally or if it was just pretending to be canvas. So I was painting on something that I wasn't 100% sure what it was made of. And that comes with a risk. So I decided this was going to be for my own home, and this was going to be a permanent part of my collection. And a great thing about that is I get to decide when it's done, and when it's done, it's technically not done because I can come back and work on this anytime because I did not varnish these. So I left them open to reworking. I left them open to me coming back in, editing, adding, taking away. And as I grow as an artist and I get more skilled, if I see mistakes that I've made, which I know I've made mistakes on these pieces, I just can't quite see it because I've stared at them for over a year now, I think. But I can't really see the mistakes right now, but I know they're there. I just can't quite figure out like how to fix them or like exactly what to do. So a great thing about this is I can just not varnish them, and I can come back and I can edit as I want because they're going to just be sitting in my living room on the wall, and I will be able to rework them if I feel like it. So another thing about this is I really love painting people and painting figures, but I also really love painting foliage, even though I feel like I'm still not great at painting foliage. I really love to do it, and I love to try, and I love to challenge myself with painting foliage because there can be so many different colors of green, so many different hues of green. There can be warm greens and cool greens and everything in between, and hints of gray and hints of browns. And so I really love that, mixed with the fact that skin tones can be so varied and all of that. And so I really like to mix people and plants, figures and foliage. And so I decided that that's what these paintings were going to be. They were going to be one character in each painting in the middle of just a lush landscape. And I definitely think that the left side with the female character, I think that she is my favorite out of the two pieces. So when I rework these pieces, I'm more than likely going to be reworking the male side, the right side, because I feel like there's more to work on that one that I just can't quite see. So I think that's going to be the future of these pieces somewhat. But I think that what I love about these two pieces is that they kind of, I feel like they tell a story, even though I'm not explicitly telling a story per se, a very exact story. I think instead they kind of give a hint to a story, or like a mystery that maybe you could solve if you looked long enough at the pieces. Now, I didn't necessarily do an entire story in my head for these characters, not at all. Actually, I don't even have a full storyline for these characters or any kind of backstory for them at all. Instead, I liked to hint and nod at a story for them by the way that I painted it. So the way that they're facing each other, even though they're in separate panels, they are facing each other, the characters are. And so this makes you wonder, are they in the same place, but they're kind of a few yards away from each other or feet away from each other? Are they actually in two totally different places, but they just look like they're in a similar place because they're painted by the same artist, and so the foliage kind of matches each other in a sense? Because if you look close enough, you can see that there's a fence in the background of the male painting, but there is a brick wall in the background of the female painting. So the question becomes, what's in between the two panels? What is there, do they connect? Because I kind of want you to have this tension in your mind of like, they seem like they would connect, but at the same time, if I were to push these panels up against each other, they wouldn't connect like a puzzle piece. Not even close. But what is that missing section in the middle? Since there's that empty space on the wall, which is actually taken up by other artwork that's unrelated, right? What is that imaginary space there? Does it connect or is it a disconnect? And I love that tension of trying to figure that out, and I feel like that's the mystery behind the piece that you need to try to just fill in yourself in your own mind and decide, are they really looking at each other? Are they actually in two totally separate dimensions? And I just love that. I haven't really done, that I can think of, I haven't done any artwork like that, where there's this tension between these two pieces that go together. So I find it really fun, and I find it brings another layer and another bit of depth to the artwork and the theme that I have going on in the pieces. So I want to know what you guys think below of these pieces. I'm not really able to show every single step of the way of creating all of my artworks, especially these larger artworks, because it becomes a lot of footage, especially when I'm recording in 4K and I have a low amount of space. But the good news is I recently got an exterior hard drive, and that has helped me so much. I will copy a lot of files over to my new hard drive, and then I can just delete them off my computer, and I kind of do a similar thing with my phone because my phone runs out of space so easily. And so it will help me put out more videos, I think, because I hadn't been putting out videos in a while, but that was also related to a lot of rough patches that have gone on in my life, and just feeling really lost and just sad and confused ever since my mom passed away. Honestly, I struggled a lot, and I had trouble telling anybody, reaching out. I would tell certain people, but not very many. But I did go into therapy, and I'm still in therapy now, and it has helped a lot. I try to work through my feelings all the time, and I'm in a pretty happy place right now. So that's great. And so I'm hoping I will be able to get back to somewhat of a schedule. I don't know if it'll be like an actual set in stone schedule, but I do miss creating videos for you guys and talking about my art and live streaming on Twitch and all the things that I loved doing. It's been a difficult few years now with COVID and family members passing away, and just all the things that come with anxiety, depression, sadness, grief, all the things. And just throw in the mix that I'm an introvert, so I kind of have to like go into my own little like isolated cave to heal sometimes, and so it makes me not want to socialize, but at the same time then I get lonely and want to socialize, but not as much as most people want to socialize. So it gets hard to navigate because I'm like, I want to socialize, but I don't want to socialize as much as most people. But I still want to be a part of the community and the friend groups, but I also need time to myself, and I need time to like figure out who I am, because there for a while I was just kind of like not listening to my own feelings. I was just kind of like suppressing my feelings, and I started to feel like even if I did express my feelings that it didn't really, like, people didn't care, which I don't think is true. I think that most of the time people do. It's just, there's a disconnect there. So I'm working on that disconnect. And that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to figure my own shit out because, you know, I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for my life, and I need to just figure that out. And I guess that's kind of how it is. We're all just figuring this out, right? So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it and for being patient in the fact that I only post when I can post, and I don't always have content to post. And I don't record every second of me painting. In fact, I record only a tiny snippet of what I actually work on. So you're only seeing a little snippet of what I actually work on just because of how much room these files take up. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! To support the channel, like the video, comment, and subscribe. You can also support my work by buying art from me at macylou.com. Thanks for watching!